Hello, West Seattle High School students. This is a video about how to include footnotes in a historical fiction research paper. So you're going to write a research paper that does historical fiction if you're on this video, and you're going to need to cite where you found information from actual research into your historical fiction. So, for example, I want to use stuff I found in this particular website for a piece that I fake wrote on the history of salt makers in the Middle Ages in northern France. So I made a fake story here that would kind of be, historical fiction, having real evidence and or real facts. And so I want to show that I found a piece of information in a real way from my history paper. So, for example, I have this description of the salt works and how salt gets made, and this is something that I want to reference as being accurate. So what I've done here is done some research. I have all of this stuff. It's just a good quality site. And if you scroll down enough, I want to quote this quote effectively. But since it's historical fiction, I don't actually want to quote it. I just want to show that I know where the information's from. All right, so the first thing you're going to need is a citation. You have the web page. What I would suggest then is go to Zotero Bib. And Zotero Bib has a lot of is one of the works cited makers. There's other ones. Zotero Bib is just the least ad spammed at the moment. And so just go to Zotero Bib. You can try just pasting the URL to the website into this and clicking cite. That usually doesn't work though, unless the website is built to create a citation automatically. Usually you'll get a bad citation. So I would suggest clicking the manual entry button and then just entering the stuff manually, obviously. When you click manual entry, you will get actually, I'm going to click it here. You'll get this thing, which is the blank one, and it's default to book. So and since this is from a website, I'm going to shift away from book and scroll all the way down to web page. And then it gives me the stuff I would need to enter for a web page. So I'm going to go through this page and fill it out for a web page. So this is the stuff that you'll actually need to do for a web page. You'll need the title. And so there's the title right there. I just copied that in. You'll need the author, last name, first name. And so I just copied that right in. There's the author's name. And then you'll need the site it's from. In this case, it's JSTOR. JSTOR Daily, I suppose I should put. And then you'll put the date, if there is a date. In this case, there was a date right there. If there is no date, then you'll skip that and you will put the date you accessed it right here. So instead of date, you'd put date accessed. You only have to put them both if there is no actual date, or actually you only have to use accessed if there is no actual date. And then just copy the URL in. So there's the URL up there, you just copy it in there. And then once you're done doing this, you click done and it will make a web page. And that, or a citation. And so there's the citation right there that was made from it. And so the first thing you should do is just copy this to clipboard. Actually, I'm going to get rid of these two blank ones first. And then once you have your bibliography thing, you click copy to clipboard. It copies. You go back to your paper, which is right there. I'm going to put first in the works cited page. So there is my proper citation, and it's got its little hanging indent. So that's super easy for making your works cited page. But right now I want to put a footnote explaining where the specific fact that this is from this page, because I'm going to have a bunch of research stuff down here in the works cited, but I want to footnote this page or this sentence showing where it is, where I got this information from. So what you need to do is go to the references tab. So there's a whole bunch of tabs up here. You want references, and then you want to insert a footnote. So you put the cursor right where you want it at the end of the sentence you're going to footnote. So in this case, it's this sentence in my story, and I want to show where that's from. So I click insert footnote, and you can see it pops open a little footnote thing down here at the bottom. And you can do one of two things. One, I don't care if you just type in the entire the proper citation here, that's fine with me. But the technically correct way to do it is actually to go back to Zotero Bib and create a footnote cite. Oh, by the way, I like mine in Chicago manual style. Other people might like Modern Language Association. Super easy to change it, but you just click that tab. But I like Chicago. Mr. Martin, I know, likes MLA, Modern Language Association. and Chicago for me. And then if you just click this little button, the copy note, that actually is different from the copy the proper citation. If you want this whole citation, weirdly, you have to click copy to clipboard. But if you just want a note for a footnote, you click copy note. And you can see it makes a little copy thing. You don't have to worry about that, just copy note. And then you go back to your paper and you already have your footnote open. So you just take that and Control V. And so you can see this is actually like a little shorty version of the works cited. So if I were a researcher and I wanted to know, like, where did this particular fact come from, I would look at the footnote and be like, oh, it's from the Zeldovich book. And then if I really cared, I would go back to the works cited page and I could find the exact place where this Zeldovich thing is. But that way, this is a little shorter than spamming in this whole thing down here. But like I said, you can do it either way. The other thing I want for the research paper is for you to put in the quote. So I have this article that I read and it did describe how to make salt, which is what I'm doing. And I wanted to quote this particular phrase because this would show that I researched and learned how to do this. And so I will go back to my paper and simply put in that quote. So it's like if you were writing a research paper. Oops, actually I'm going to quote without formatting. And then I would, if I were doing an actual research paper, then I would have a quote. But this way I kind of have the quote, but I have it in as a footnote. All right, so that way I don't mess up my story with some weird looking quote. So you're writing a normal historical fiction story. It should be believable, have historical details, and then you're proving that you have the historical details using footnotes and a proper works cited. So it's a long way of showing that, but that's how to make a works cited footnote thing work so that you are both writing fiction and also proving that you know what you're talking about. Hope that was helpful. Thanks. Bye.